Hello everyone, welcome to Snap Take. Today we're going over the best decks that players are playing since the OTA. These are the decks that people at the top of the Infinite leaderboard have been having the most success with since the wild OTA that took out basically every tech card. We're going to start with Safety Blade's updated version of his Invisible Woman deck. His version proved through all the changes to end up being the best and most consistent version. If you've seen a Thing for Step, Stardust, and Mobius version, that is in fact the Safety version. Since the OTA, he added Sunspot and Marvel Boy. Let's talk about the card replacements, and then talk about what this deck does and why. So you can find Safety at twitch.tv/safetyblade, where he streams. He's Australian, so at quite different hours, but if you can catch him, you should definitely do so. He's created a lot of the top decks in the history of Marvel Snap. This deck needs Invisible Woman for steps, Thing for steps, and Marvel Boy. If you don't have Stardust, feel free to try Fantastic Bob can be the Squirrel Girl, and of course Surge can be Zabu as per usual. So, Sunspot is here all of a sudden with Marvel Boy because we can just power spike without worrying about Killmonger. We can use Sunspot as and his ×4 buff as a power spike. We can use Marvel Boy as a ×2 buff. We don't run the Prodigy here. ×2 buff for Sunspot or Marvel Boy as these big power spikes as a way to compete with the rising power of a meta that's not scared of Shang-Chi. This deck still does a lot of the same things to try and make sure the opponent doesn't go over the top of them. It's going to have more opponents that are just capable of going over the top now in the current meta because of the lack of Shang, right? Like you're going to get more like, oh no, they soar on Red Skull and they're just a little too big for me type of lanes. But that's what Sunspot and Marvel Boy are for. The decks that go really over the top, the combo decks, your Hella decks, your Mobius decks, those are handled by, of course, Mobius decks, your negative decks. Those are handled by Mobius, those are handled by Stardust, and that's how you really keep up with the metagame. You make sure you're running the right tech card to the right matchups, and then you run a really, really effective and powerful point package. People are still very often not filling up every spot on the board, so the one aggressive tech card you run, Juggernaut, is meant to take advantage of that and win you the game. That's fundamentally the gist of the deck. Everything else is built around Invisible Woman for steps. You are double buffing Sunspot, Havoc, and Marvel Boy, and double buffing Thing, who is a lane winner. Hydra Bob and Black Cat just have nice stats. Surge lets you get stuff out for cheaper, and that's the deck. This right now, Safety is rank 7. Every deck in this deck in this video has a 60+% win rate. Turn 1, you want Black Cat over Sunspot over Hydra Bob. Turn 2, it's Surge or over a 1+1 over Athena. Turn 3, Invisible Woman over Marvel Boy over a 1+2 if Athena over Mobius. Turn 4, Invisible +1 or Stardust. This is also a really good Athena plus another card turn. Turn 5 is fairly often Thing for steps. Sometimes it's get out end of turn stuff. This is your last chance to play Invisible Woman for steps and still trigger her. You will basically never play anything over her on this turn. Turn 6, end of turn stuff, and trigger Invisible Woman. We can also Juggernaut and just play like Athena, or Juggernaut and play like a Sunspot. It's only like 4 power, but you'll take it. That kind of thing is perfectly doable here. You enjoy your points as you go. I don't know. Great list, crazy power. This was what I thought the best deck was before the OTA, and now it's at worst a top 5-ish deck after the OTA. Invisible Woman is just crazy, crazy consistent. As long as you draw that card and play smart, you're going to win a lot of games of Snap. Before we go any further, if you're willing to help us fight that YouTube algorithm and get the videos in front of more people, please hit that sub, leave a like, and leave a comment. It would mean an awful lot if you're willing to help us out in that way. And in return, we will give you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. Most weeks, we end up doing something more like 8 or 9 videos. And if that sounds good to you, you want the most Marvel Snap decks from the best players, leave a sub. In addition, we are giving away a Viv Vision sub, like, comment, and you get Viv. Just that simple. Okay. Well, you get entered to win Viv, I guess. Let's be a little more accurate. This is Cizer's rank 1 deck, and it is bounce, but it's missing the move portion. Have no fear. We'll talk about move later. Cizer's absolutely rocking with 2 different versions of this, both in the high 60s% win rate. With his gameplay, he's in the 70s with this one. He does alternate between Iceman and America Chavez in this list. America Chavez getting +3 multiple times, Iceman messing up the curve multiple times. Both are incredibly powerful. Mobius, being the last tech card standing, is just in a lot of decks where he can be fit. A lot of people are trying to do silly, like negative-esque things right now to go over the top, and Mobius as a counter to that is still a powerful place to be. If you are not dealing with a lot of negative in your corner of the meta, feel free to throw a Frigga or another different powerful card in that spot, and you'll be totally fine. You can find Cizer streaming all the time. He is Austrian, so he's in the EU at twitch.tv says Cizer2654. This deck needs JTF, the Torres Falcon, Sage, Toxin, and Nico. Agent Venom can be Surge or Bast. Silver Sable can be America Chavez. Now, the ones are here for fairly simple reasons. They're all on reveals that you would like to hit more than once. Nico, in particular, is kind of amazing to hit more than once. You can draw with her and then double her later. You can draw with her and then give +2 or +4, thanks to Joaquin. With her later, lots of powerful stuff like that. The Hood and Rocket Raccoon are your main Joaquin targets. Hood giving 2 demons each time you play it. A lot of decks run Misery for that. You could just get to do it here, and then you bounce the Hood away. You don't want to keep him on board. Sometimes the Hood's a 3, and you're fine keeping him on board, thanks to Agent Venom, but generally speaking, you'd rather not. While Iceman early, giving +2 to +4 to cards in players' hands, is often backbreakingly game-winning. Silver Sable is likewise very powerful early on Joaquin Torres, and it also represents a powerful body late. It gives -4 to the top card of the deck. Most cards are just sort of killed by a -4. Most cards cannot survive a -4 from Silver Sable. Now, if they do play that card, Silver Sable has just represented 8 power. Same thing, you can do her twice. That's the ones. Joaquin doubling the ones. Oh, sorry, I guess Rocket. Rocket's a 1/9 if you hit with it once, a 1 +4, a 117 if you hit with it twice. That's crazy. It's one of the best cards to copy. It's one of the best power spikes in the deck. Again, even if you just get Rocket twice, a 1/9 is nothing to sneeze at, obviously. Toxin's a 2/8, great stats, bounce. Falcon lets you bounce most effectively on Joaquin Torres early, while Beast lets you bounce really effectively late. Bouncing with Beast, this is also very good on the last turn because it lets you have really explosive last turns. It's best with if you can also bounce Sage, a 2 cost, like generally even like 6 power Sage will often be completely stupidly huge at the end of the game, especially because we're not seeing much Cosmo or Live. Agent Venom can give Sage a good start. It is a nerf to Mobius. It is a nerf to Beast. It is still worth it. It hits Hood, that's +6 power. Sable is 3, and of course Sage is 3. Those are your 3 main targets. You're fine to hit the ones, but they're not as good. The more value you get, the better, obviously, here, right? Plus, having a 5 body is often very useful. The reason it's in over Bast is basically, let's say it hits Mobius and Beast, right? And you've lost 3 power from it. Well, Bast can lose you the same 3 power, but let's say Bast gives you more control and doesn't, right? You're playing 1 for and losing 3 energy at that point, right? Versus you're playing 5 and losing 3. That's still, if you subtract 3, it's still a 2/2 versus a 1 like negative whatever. So I think Agent Venom ends up being more numbers overall. This is currently rank 1. Cizer is running away with it. We'll see if he has it in him to continue to grind to be rank 1 by the end. But right now, he's been crushing this season almost entirely. Turn 1 is just sort of whichever one. I tend to lead with Iceman, but you can go multiple ways. Turn 2, Agent Venom over JTF over 2 1s. Turn 3, especially if we Agent Venom, JTF and a 1, or Sage to bounce. We can also, if we play JTF on 2, just play some 1s on him. Turn 4, bounce the first time, or Sage. Turn 3 is Beast Plus. You can use a different bounce card, but I prefer Beast. Beast Plus whatever you can. Turn 6, some 1s and Sage, and win. Don't forget to leave some 1s on the board if you're not beasting, because you're not going to be able to play more than 3 1s in Sage, and often that's going to be like Demon Rocket Sage or Demon Sage, and that's how you win. I don't know. Whether with America and Mobius or Frigga or whatever else, this list has proven itself. Lots of people hit Infinite with it. Lots of people have a lot of success with it. As people are just trying to play big, dumb stats, there's very, very, very often one simple lane that is big, dumb stats, right? One lane that is just so over the top you can never compete. And regular decks find themselves wasting points in that lane. You playing a bounce deck get to bounce and reposition out of there, competing in their 2 less effective lanes and often winning the game as such. Really cool idea from Cizer. Enjoy. I'm back streaming, friends. I should be back on Monday morning, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Sorry for the delay. My internet has been a giant jerk. We should be good to go. Let's go twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Nope, that's not our season pass question. We're just going to do free parking. Tell me whatever you want in the free parking spot. But I am going to ask a favor before we talk about the next deck. If any of you are willing to help out, I'm doing some Raid Shadow Legends content. I know a lot of you don't like the game. you don't have to download it. Do me a favor and just give the content a hit if you ever have some free time, if you're willing to. It appears right here on this channel. It could use a little bit extra support, and it really helps support my content, allowing me to make the Marvel Snap content I want. If you just hit that, if you have an extra couple of minutes. Every third video is story time, a cool story about my life, and that's denotated in the thumbnail. So that'll be the next video after this one. So if you're willing to come check that out, it'd mean a lot. I think you will like it. All right. Cizer main bounce via Shongenjoy. So Shongenjoy had an 83% win rate in like 18 games with this, 82% win rate in 18 games, something like that. And this is just the standard bounce move right now, and it's utterly disgusting because the only thing that really stops this deck is Shang-Chi. And yeah, there's no Shang-Chi. I mean, Shang-Chi and Shadow King and Cosmo, right? Like, and Alioth. Cards that could annoy this. Without those, this deck just has free reign to put up all the points it wants, and it wants to put up more points than anything else can really deal with. So this is Cizer's deck, twitch.tv says Cizer2654. He is playing the bounce, but Shongenjoyer is playing this version. I don't remember Shongenjoyer's exact rank. I looked it up, and I just woke up to record this video. So whatever rank Shongenjoyer is, he's pretty damn good right now. I want to say top 100, but I could be mixing myself up. And he is rocking with this. So you need Sparky, Madam Web, Sage, and Frigga here. Aranya can be Cloak. All right. Aranya, Iron Fist, and Ghost Spider are your simple movers. They're cheap and easy to use. Iron Fist and Ghost Spider are actually better than Aranya in this list because you can bounce them with Toxin or Beast and reuse them. And if you reuse them with Beast, they're free to do so. Vulture is your last move choice. Despite being really cheap, you have to move Vulture a lot to make him a lane winner. He's a fine card. Vulture often ends up for me in my Sage lane as a way to win that lane. Madam Web is our repeatable mover. A lot of the times we want to move things into Madam Web so she can move things out to wherever we want for a power spike. Sparky is a stupidly big power spike. Sparky is meant to be used for as much power as possible. Please note, no Human Torch in this version. No Human Torch in this version? Torch isn't in over something? There was one card I was missing. Is it Torch? Bear with me as I click away to another tab and double check this list. Give me a second as I type in Shongenjoyer. Waiting for it to load, waiting for it to load. He has not cut Torch. What did he cut instead of Torch? One of the 2-drops. Which 2-drop is missing, friends? We have Web, Sparky. Oh, we cut Frigga. He cut Frigga. Excuse me. No Frigga in the list. Instead, we have Torch. Silly brain. Brains are for brains. Excuse me. Again, I told you. I woke up less than 5 minutes ago to put this together. Excuse me. So he is running Torch. So Sparky is insane with Torch. It's hard for me to imagine a Sparky deck without Torch because that is immediately with one move 18 power, which means if you can get that into Madam Web, for example, you've got a 36 power, which is likely to win a game even in this meta. Dagger is also about 18 power with Sparky. Don't sleep on that. Toxin and Beast are your bounce cards. Ignore Frigga. She doesn't exist here. She's not in the turn by turn, so I should have known she doesn't exist here. Sage is your last turn power spike so that you can just get things, and then Strange sort of moves your biggest card wherever you want it. Be careful with that, though. 82% in 15 games. Aranya, Web over Sparky, double move Vulture. Torch is your ideal year 3 over another mover or Sage to bounce. Turn 4, bounce or mover. Turn 5, Beast plus. Turn 6, replay all your movers and Sage and win. You don't even have to worry nearly as much about your turn 5 beast here. It's a nice thing to do, but now instead of bouncing my stupidly big Human Torch, I'm often bouncing my Iron Fist and Ghost Spider and stuff, and just winning by moving the second card, whether that be Dagger, whether that be Vulture, whatever else, at the end of the game, and playing that with Sage, because that is so cheap and effective. This is absolutely wildly strong. There is a ton to do, a ton to like about this list. If I had to pick one deck gun to my head, despite it being difficult play, that was the best after the OTA, it would be this one. I think the bounce is really good. It's okay. I think the bounce is really good, but I think the bounce move just has so much higher of a point ceiling. We're doing some custom card challenges on our Discord. If you are interested in checking them out, please do. We also have some mini King of the Hill tournaments. So again, our Discord is linked in the description to this and every video. Bastion is great. Bastion is great. I thought Bastion would die. It did not. Victoria Hand should have died, and it did not. Crazy put together a Bastion Victoria Hand list, and he kept Shang-Chi in it. Hey, look, here's Frigga where she belongs. He kept Shang-Chi in it, and it farms. It's so good. It's basically taking advantage of I can run 3 Victoria hands relatively easily here, sometimes 4 if things get really stupid, and just say, okay, what if I could do points and I can still control your biggest lane and just steal power in it? You don't expect Shang-Chi, I have Shang-Chi, go to hell. You can find Crazy at twitter.com/crazyim. This deck needs Vicky, Frigga, and Misery. Nico can be Merlin. Kate can be Iron Patriot. And Bastion can be the Moon Girl. Okay. Hood gives you multiple demons. Multiple demons with multiple Victoria hands is crazy power. That's how this lane really often competes. Zabu makes our forest cheaper. A 3-cost Bastion or Shang-Chi or even Misery are all great. 3-cost Misery allowing you to Hood Misery on 4, for example. 3-cost Bastion allowing you to drop a Zabu or, sorry, it can't be a Zabu, a Nico or Quinjet with Bastion on turn 4 are great, great, great plays. Even having the ability to do Misery with your Victoria hand or Misery with your Bastion on turn 5 after Zabu is stellar. I think Zabu actually belongs in the Bastion versions of these decks, is the short version. Nico gives you a copy for Vicky Hand or Demons or whatever. It can also destroy your Hood to draw 2 cards, generally a good card to have. Quinjet makes your Bastion cards 1, makes your Mirage and Frigga cards 1 cheaper. That's worth running. Awesome stuff. Kate gives you extra 1s. Kate is often a backup for the Hood. Be careful with Kate and Bastion. You don't want to overfill your hand, but it is not terrible to get arrows and have ones with good power for your Vicky. Mirage comes with a pre-buff Vicky hand card. That's what playing her gets you. Victoria is great. Speed is just right now one of the bigger 3s. Gladiator is dangerous for people running so many big things, so you run speed and you have ways to fill out all your energy. I'm skipping Victoria Hand. You know what Victoria Hand does. She's the whole deck. She's the power spike that for the deck. If you don't see her, I don't think you can compete in this meta. Frigga is a copy of Vicky Hand, but also a copy for potential demons or an amazing Mirage hit. Nope, no Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot has gotten way worse since the OTA. Shang blows stuff up. Only 1 stuff this time, but because no one's playing around it, you should be good to go. No one's playing like you have it anyway. Bastion here is going to ideally get you extra Victoria hands. If people are going totally stupid and you can get a Shang-Chi and copy and get a 2/3 Shang-Chi, that seems like a good thing to do to me. The extra Hood is very, very strong here as well, and a 2/3 speed is a card you're happy to have. Misery gets rid of your Hood and gives you extra demons. It gets rid of Zabu and gives you extra reduction. Outside of that, Mirage and Kate are fine, but they're not prio targets. They're just sort of backups and extra stuff to do. All right. So this is rank 14 right now. Zabu over Quinjet equals Hood. Turn 2, Hand of Frigga over Bastion. Mirage over Kate is better than a +1, 1+1. Turn 3, Speed, Frigga, or 2+1. Turn 4, Bastion, Misery, or 2+2 over 2+2. Turn 4, Misery, Bastion, +1, or just generate stuff. And then turn 6, drops Demon, Bastion cards, and arrows, and such. Sometimes you're going to throw some Vicky Hand copies in there. And you're putting up stupid power, just stupid power with this list, while also being the last Shang-Chi list. They changed the meta, they got rid of all the tech cards, and they just changed the versions of Victoria Hand and Invisible Woman and Bounce that are best. Here we go. Enjoy this meta. At the top of Infinite, people have figured out how to make the best decks still work. That's the lesson I take away from this. You tell me what you think in the comments. Certain tier support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. Please do check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. Thank you to Jonesy Snap 22, the greats Abigail Giesland, Matt Tori Burnout, Regardless, LAB Inc. I am Frostman. Hey Frosty. Hota Nevernete, Primed Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood Snap. Renwrench, Gopher Kev, Keltor, Keratix Lee, Koire, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Pyrofrost, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hollowed, Synth, Fat Dick, Absolute Shannon, Turtay, Casual, Dark Moogle, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philly, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, XRC and Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Mr. Slush Death, The King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kepsi Hoda, Clam, Cuddle Forbin, Rob Subman, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Matt B., Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy McHugh, Gist Out, Ace Age, One Big Man, Cactus Jack, Reapster, Steve O, 131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Good Bro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe, Bickety Boom Bot, Bricks 2 Click, Green Goblin, Unibot B2, Flam 56, Spectrum X, Woot, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ Mac Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Nick the Greek Geek, Toxic Soul King, Zadric 74, The King of Canada, JJ, Denman Falcon, Fothlar Newman, Two Ties, The Great Lord Evs, The Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T. The T stands for Snap, Snap, Snap Judgments. Snap, Snap, Snap Judgments. Subscribe. Don't forget. Peace.